For today's spreads, I wanted to keep them really easy and simple. For for these spreads, I wanted to keep them really simple and easy. You know what? It's fine. I got the footage I need. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am super excited for today's video because I've been wanting to film like a actual sit down, like plan with me kind of video since I decided to start my channel. And everything just kind of worked out perfectly. I figured out how to set up my tripod at my desk so that it has an overhead view, and then last night I actually figured out how to make it better so that it's more of a directly overhead view. So I'm just really excited to get this one out because I've been wanting to do a plan with me since I started watching Plan With Me's. Also, please excuse my hair. I took a shower this morning and so now it's drying and doing crazy funky hair things, so yes. So I am basically done with my current journal. I have like 3 pages left, so I will be moving into this bad boy. But before we get into that, I should probably let you know who I am. Hello, my name is Crystal, and on my channel you will find beauty and bullet journal related content, so if that is something that you're interested in, you should consider subscribing. So with all that said, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab your journal if you're going to be planning with me, and I'm going to hand you over to VoiceOver Crystal. So the first thing I did was make this moving into a new journal spread, and I just have that divided into spreads to keep, spreads to try, and a notes section. For the notes, I added a list of what I want on the last time I've spread. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is just to help me stay on track with the spreads I'm setting up in my new journal. I also sketched out all the spreads that I'll be doing beforehand. I do this for any setup just because it helps to keep me neat. And honestly, I don't trust myself to freehand anything. So now I'm setting up my key, and that just shows you what each symbol means. I'm using a Scribbles That Matter journal, so it already has a section for the key and index, but if your journal doesn't, you can just make one at the beginning. For my bullet code, I use a circle for task, colored in circle for completed task, half colored circle for a task in progress, an arrow to the right for migrated tasks, so something that I didn't get to today that I'm moving to later in the week, an arrow to the left for scheduled tasks, so something that I didn't get to that I'm moving to later in the month or year. I just realized that I didn't put anything for canceled, but that would be a circle with a line through everything, a dash for a note, a triangle for an event, a square for an appointment, and a star for something important. I never use the color code section of this because I feel like that's too much to have a key and to color code things, and ain't nobody got time for all that, so nah. And now I'm setting up my grid spacing sheet. I got this idea from Amanda Rachel Lee, and I've been using it in my journals since last year. If you're new to bullet journaling, this is a super helpful spread to have because it shows you how many dots you need to count for each way that you want to divide your paper so that you're not having to do the math every time you want to make a new spread. So for example, I made markers for 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4 of a page because those are the ones that I use the most. So now I can reference this page and see that it's 9 dots to split the page in thirds horizontally and 13 dots vertically. If you do make this spread, I would suggest putting it on the left side just so that it's easier to look at when you need to reference it. I also totally forgot to add the fractions over the lines and the numbers going horizontally, so I will post a picture of that right now. So now I'm doing my future log, and this is also my year at a glance because I added the little calendars underneath the headers. I'm just doing this for the last 5 months because that's all I need. So this is where I'll add any events or appointments that are in the future since I don't have the rest of my monthly setups done yet. So when I do set those up, I can refer to my future log and make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. And I chose purple as the accent color for these spreads because the journal is also purple. So now I'm setting up my goals page. I kept that pretty simple and just divided it into life, career, and YouTube related things. So this is where bullet journals get a little more personal and creative in terms of spreads. You can add fun spreads, practical spreads, no spreads. It just depends on what you're using your journal for. Then I did a quote page next to it for some motivation to complete these goals. I saw this quote on Pinterest, but I've always said coulda, shoulda, woulda, so I arranged it like that. And then when I was sketching this, my brain just kept saying, nah, did. So I added the nah. And then I just erased everything and added a border, crossed out the could, should, and would, and added some drop shadows. And that is it for these two spreads. And now I'm doing this what's on my bookshelf spread. And if you've looked on Pinterest for Bujo stuff, I'm sure that you've seen this spread. One of my goals is to read more, so I left space for 20 books and I will fill in the titles when I finish a book. If you want to keep this simple, you can make this page as a list, and you could even leave a section to rate it or write something that you liked about it. I think a bullet journal should be something that you can look back on and see what was going on in your life, how you were, what you were doing, stuff like that, in addition to all the planning and organizing. So spreads like these just help make it like a little more personal. Now I'm setting up a when did I last page, and this is something that I really wanted to make sure I included. I found that I'm asking myself, when was the last time a lot, so I think this spread is going to be super helpful for me. I put it in order of most to least often, and I just drew some boxes around the things I'm trying to keep track of. I love my dog, but he sheds a lot, so I'm trying to get into the habit of vacuuming, dusting, washing my sheets, and bathing him more often. Sometimes it really messes with my allergies, so I'm trying to be more proactive instead of reactive. And then I have cleaning my makeup brushes and changing my toothbrush just so that I have an actual date and I'm not wondering. And I put oil change because even though I'm not driving a lot right now, I am notorious for forgetting until it's way late. So I'm just trying to develop this habit early. So now we're on to the last two spreads, and I did a really simple savings tracker and a video ideas page. For my savings tracker, I just made a bar graph, and each block represents X amount of dollars, and I'm going to write what I'm saving for in the purple boxes that I'll make later. For my video ideas, I just added a header, a little YouTube icon, and a border, and I'm basically going to be transferring any ideas from the notes on my phone or from my brain dump spreads or my brain dump spreads to this page. And here's where I added the little boxes where I'll put each thing that I'm saving for. And here's the final flip through. I really like how my spreads came out. I wanted to get back to the basics and just create some useful and practical spreads, because sometimes I spend all this time making these pretty spreads and I don't even use them. And there's more than enough space if I want to get more creative later. So I hope you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way. Let me know if you're currently bullet journaling or if you plan on starting one. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!